everyone to our From Foal to Race career question and answer session. Today we have Caitriona Bolger. She is a barn manager for Gordon Elliott. She studied at the College of Agricultural, Food and Rural Enterprise in Enniskillen, which has an equine unit on campus. Caitriona has been riding horses since an early age and has been working for Gordon Elliott for many years now. Caitriona rides the horses daily and has recently got her HGV license, which allows her to drive the horse truck to the races. So Caitriona, I'll probably start off with hopefully an easier question. So at what age did you first become interested in horses and horse riding?
God, I have to say, like looking back at photos, I was put on a pony before I could nearly walk and just held on. So I'd say from the get-go, really, my dad would have a big interest in just hunting, fishing and all. So from, I'd say 2-3 years old, I was planked up bareback and away we went from there, really.
So it was in the blood, really.
Yeah.
That's good. So the next question I have for you is, could you tell us how you kind of developed into your career? Like, where did you start and how did you end up where you are now with Gordon Elliott's yard?
Well, I suppose from a young age, I was in as many riding schools. I was hunting, I was show jumping, all the way up through my teens. And then I think it was maybe 15, 16, I was sent to Lines. He was only down the road from me for a short summer too, because I wasn't really into racing. I was just a different aspect, which none of my family were in. So I sent there just for a summer to see, knock it off the list. Like, you're not going to like it, but better experience it. So I went there for a summer, did summer flat racing, and yeah, got a bug for horse racing and went back. I finished my leaving cert, and it was between going to beauty therapy and going up to do the horses up in CAFRE. So I'm not gonna lie, I did put it into a hat. I couldn't choose. I was so hard between the two of them. But the horses came out. I thought logically, like, beauty therapy would be more sustainable life career at that time, looking forward. But I'd always regret if I didn't go do the horses because I've been so involved. So I was happy that did come out of the hat. And I was lucky my family was supportive. So I went up to CAFRE Enniskillen and I did a foundation degree in equine management. And yeah, on my second year of that, I had to go do an apprenticeship. So I sent out several CVs and Gordon Elliot was the first one to reply within a few days and said, yeah, we'll take you. So away I went for 3 months, and long story short, I'm basically there ever since.
No, it's amazing. And going back a little bit to your time at CAFRE, what kind of courses did you do, or what kind of things did you study when you were there?
So CAFRE is great because it's half in the classroom and half out in the yard. I am very dyslexic, so I struggled with books and learning in school. My mom helped me with CAFRE because between CAFRE and going to like the Limerick to do equine business, it was kind of tit for tat. But then CAFRE, they judge you on yard-based skills. You go out when you're learning the anatomy of horses. They literally bring you out into the yard and use horses as live demonstrations. So it was a lot easier for me to understand. We did horse care. We even did like Excel, your Microsoft. Like, we covered anything and everything that you're ever going to need. CAFRE covered it, and it was brilliant up there.
Yeah, and I suppose having that visual aspect, you know, like you said, going out into the yard and being able to physically see the things that you're talking about, it probably really bring it to life for you as well.
Oh, definitely. It's hands-on experience. Like, you're there. Not only is it a college course, you're up in the morning, you're doing your yards, you got to go feed them, muck them out, look after them. You have the option of having riding lessons or non-riding, which are also marked on. So they cater for both, and they're clipping, the care of horses, bandaging, first aid. They also do add-on courses. So I did an add-on in first aid of race horses. And I think I did another one about transporting horses at the time up there too. But yeah, no, they offer such a wide range.
Everything that you need to know, really.
Yeah, definitely.
And could you tell us a bit more about your role as a barn manager? What are the kind of things you do day to day or week to week or month to month? I know it probably changes for you all the time, but just give us an idea of what your role entails.
Yeah, perfect. So I go in the morning. I look after a barn of 30 horses. So I go in the morning, make sure they're all good, give them a bit of hay to get them they get a handful of hay in the morning, make sure they've roughage in their belly before they go out riding out. Then if I had runners the day of or the previous day, I bring them out for a quick trot up and make sure they're sound, they're all okay. If anything needs to go on the walker, then I will go to the tack room, get my tack ready. Normally ride out 3 lots, then we'd stop for hopefully a quick cup of tea. And then we ride out another 3 or 4 lots depending. And then we'd stop for lunch. And then after lunch, those 30 horses I look after head to toe. And kind of just the barn, like making sure all routine water pots, feed pots are cleaned, my stables are up to standard. And then down to the veterinary care. If any bandages, if horses have got injured, sick, it's my responsibility to nurse them back to health. And I'd also do a lot of the racing. So I could be here, there, between Ireland, England, traveling everywhere with them too. So it's great.
Yeah. So you, like we were just saying there, you were at Aintree over the weekend. So you're all around the place, back and forth constantly with it, I'd say.
Yes, definitely. Oh, it's the reason I do the job. Like I am never going to be a jockey. I was lucky enough, I think Punchestown are great. They do the Up the Yard challenge. I got to ride in that for a day. But other than that, like I feel like people like us, we do it for the love of the game and for the traveling. Like you get to see so many different places and and especially in national racing, you meet a lot of great people. And it's like a community, like you go off to England by yourself there with 2 horses and you're going to meet 2 or 3 other Irish or English and everyone gets on well. So
yeah, that's perfect. And it leads actually kind of probably into my next question, but what would you say is your favorite kind of point of your career so far? Something that you look back on and that's the highlight so far for you?
God, there is so many. I suppose one of the biggest would be getting to ride in the Up the Yard challenge race, just swapping shoes with the lads for a day and like them leading up there, they think it's hard and I'm like, that's what I do, and then I'm riding the race and it was hard. But between that or like when you're leading up good horses and good races for lovely owners, like and lucky enough to have 2 Cheltenham winners now, Mount Ida and Better Days Ahead this year. So they're special days, like that's what you put your back into. So yeah, no, it's those days are memorable. You never forget about them.
Yeah, I'd imagine the buzz of the win and it makes all the kind of harder aspects of it or being out in all weathers or that kind of thing worth it.
Definitely. That's the hard part.
I'd imagine, yeah. So would you have any advice for anyone's watching this or any young people out there who would be interested in getting into the horse racing industry?
Yes, I'd say go for it. Number 1, don't hesitate. And 2, open your doors, go and speak to anyone and everyone. I also was lucky enough after college, I applied for the ITPA apprenticeship scheme, which is getting back going again this year. And I got sent out to 3 different apprenticeships within a year between Coolmore, Tattersalls, Ireland and Rasker Stud. And it's all about making connections in the industry. The industry is so small within itself. So I say get out there, make a name for yourself in a good way, introduce yourself, and you never know who knows who and where you'll end up.
Yeah, that's a good piece of advice, I think, for nearly any industry, especially in the sector. But yeah, no, that's great. I have a question of my own as well. Just what would you say is the most challenging part for you? Like, what do you find difficult at times, or could be the weather, I'd say, but anything like that you find the most challenging part?
I'd say there's 2. Yes, the weather, like don't get me wrong. We're outside in the weather, no matter what it is, all day, every day. If it's freezing, it's snowing, everyone's looking out. We're out there trying to hand water horses and feed them, keeping them warm. It doesn't matter about us at that time. They're our main priority. And also, you have to be dedicated because it's tough. Like you're not going to lie, and it's a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. You can skive off. Like you work 6 days minimum, and then your Sunday's racing. But it pays off. Like it's worth it, but you got to put in the time and effort.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd say you probably develop a nice connection with the horses themselves. Like, are you regularly looking after the same 30 horses, or does that change?
I look after, it kind of switches between our summer season, our winter season. But I say within 30, I'd have about 15 that I'd look after every year.
Yeah.
Apart from the ones like I lead up, like they always live with me and make sure they're all good head to toe. But no, definitely there's some horses you can't pinpoint why, but they catch a special bit in your heart. Like I was lucky enough, I actually have a retired racehorse. So I do him after work, I go and do him then, and I've had great fun, and it's something else you do forget about. I've been working for Gordon for nearly 9 years now, and you'd be that flat out within the industry that you forget actually why you like horses. Like you're riding 6, 7 horses every day. They might be pulling your back out. You're flying around the gallop. It's so nice to go out now in the evenings, especially in summertime. Your own horse who's retired, who's loving life, and just go for a hack down the road. And you're like, this is why I bloody love this game.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say when you're flying about, it's sometimes hard to kind of see what you're in. But then evenings like that, when you're just taking the pace a bit slower, I'd say it's nice to reconnect with the love of the game.
Definitely, it's just it humbles you, it brings you back down again. And yeah, no, there you can't tell, but some horses, they just mean a lot to you. Like there's 2, 3 horses I look after, and they'd win 1 or 2 races, and they'd only be little small ones, but they mean more than some of those big ones. So yeah, no, they all have characters.
No, great. So do you have any last few things to say about your career or how you got there before we finish up today, Caitriona?
No, I also better mention I am very lucky as well. Career highlight, I've got to say, is I was lucky enough to win a Godolphin Award this year for the stable staff. So that's a big thank you to Godolphin for establishing us as stable staff. So a big thank you to them. And God, I don't know if there's anything else.
You love the job anyway.
Yes,
It
definitely.
sounds like a lovely worthwhile job to have, and the connection with the horses and getting to see the world, it all seems to come together nicely, and you clearly enjoy your job, so
Definitely, no, it is good. So I'm hopefully a few more people might come and join us now.
yeah, hopefully so. Thanks a million for talking to me today, Caitriona. So we've answered some great questions there and given us an insight into your role as barn manager for Gordon Elliott. Thanks a million.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
Cheers.